Imagine going through life, well, most of your life, thinking, knowing that something is wrong with you. You're not like the others. You can't quite say how. But it turned out I was autistic. Diagnosed, age of 33, which is probably just under half my life, if I'm lucky. Hey, I'm Mac, and welcome to Mac Unmasked. This isn't going to be your standard autism awareness video. If you're here, odds are you already know. This is for the ones who felt off and othered, out of sync, but never had the words. When I was diagnosed with high-functioning autism and ADD, like I said, age 33, I'd been masking, adapting, spiraling, recovering, surviving, without ever knowing what I was dealing with. I had no help, no support, no roadmap, just my vibes. That led to quite a few bad decisions, many regrets, plenty of fun too, sometimes too much fun. But now that I know, well, there's no switch. It doesn't make everything easy, but it does make some things make sense. And that's something. To finally learn who you are, it's a relief. Because, well, being autistic ain't all that bad. I always knew that I wasn't like the other kids. I'd started school already loving books. I was a top reader in infant school, which is an accolade I've yet to beat, by the way. Didn't really care much for friends like the other kids, wasn't interested in sports. The mouse and keyboard were my best mates in secondary. Chewed everything. Paper, plastic, metal. Swallowed a screw in a 20p at the same time once. I can still hear the rattling late at night. God damn. It wasn't all perfect, but that's a story for another time. Now next come college, fresh age 16. It was a turning point. I went to a new one. I didn't know anyone. There was no one from my school at my college. And that was good and a bad thing. Well, I didn't know anyone. And didn't really know how to talk to people. I was sat in the courtyard on my third day, by myself, like usual. I only talked to people I'd sat next to in class, and well, they were nothing like me, so we didn't really get along. I was sat in the corner listening to Linkin Park on a Sony Ericsson. You remember the Sony Ericssons? Yeah, well, and this girl came over. Weird, never happened before. Never been approached by a girl ever, and she asked, "Just come sit with us." Yeah, why not? Fantastic. I look over and there's like 6 alternative emo girls, and I'm well, it's the happiest and maddest day of my life. But it all worked out for the best. I'd found my people. I'd found my kin. Emo kids. I had my first kiss, girlfriend at 16, started dressing the part. I was a great emo kid. It was the happiest time of my life up until that point. I still carry quite a few literal scars, but they were good years. Well, all good things come to an end, and eventually had to start work. Join retail. I actually really liked customer interaction. Took pride in giving great service. Told you, not like the others. Things took a turn when I became homeless. 7 rough years. Lucky enough, I always managed to find a bed. Some dodgy ones. You haven't lived until you've shared a room with someone who keeps pet rats and sleeps with them. Yeah, sleeps with them. Well, then I started working a new job, different job, in disability support, caring for people with autism. It was in the training manual that I saw myself. And that's when things clicked. I wasn't just quirky, I wasn't just weird. I booked a GP appointment. It took 3 GPs. That stung. Sometimes it took months for me to even want to try again. But then after finally trying, I found a good one. She listened. She took me seriously. She believed me. And best of all, she agreed with me. Next, another one of the best days of my life. Until she told me the waiting list was 2 years long minimum. 2 years. Well, at least the ball was rolling, and to be fair, I'd waited 31 up until that point, so what was another 2? Well, eventually the date came around and I got the diagnosis through. It was mixed feelings, to be fair. I felt, like I said, relieved. I also felt angry at the adults from my childhood. It was obvious that I was different to the other kids, but no one even thought to look deeper. I mean, I never looked deeper at myself, but I was just a kid. Anyway, that's a story for another time. Well, the diagnosis, it didn't fix me, but it did give me understanding, acceptance, tools. People's reactions, they got easier to handle. I managed to access support. I got meds, workplace adjustments. Not special treatment, different treatment. Sometimes, well, that's all you need. Now, if I'm out and about, a party, and I feel overwhelmed, I don't beat myself up. I don't make a scene. I just leave. Say goodbye.
Yeah, see you guys now.
Absolutely revolutionary.
That's the night for me. Nice.
But let's be honest. Late diagnosed people don't get talked about much. Support is minimal and often not actually helpful. High functioning, sorry, it doesn't mean easy. It just means the struggle is invisible. Autism's a spectrum, not more on the social disability side. Something was always off, but you get on with it, as always. As always. Autism, well, it doesn't look the same for everyone. But maybe something in this helps you see something in yourself a bit clearer. Let me just expand on what exactly this channel is. This channel isn't all pastel infographics and buzzwords. It's for people like me, late diagnosed, burnt out, just trying to make sense of it all. No guru talk, no promises, just honesty. Weird, awkward, the funny, the frustrating, sometimes the strangely beautiful. No sugarcoating, just pure truth. If what I'm saying makes sense to you, or even if it doesn't, and you're curious, stick around. Drop a comment at all if you've been through it, or you've taken this video, or you have something to add. If you're still figuring it out, like I am, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for being here, and be kind to yourself. And if one day you need to take your burger apart before eating it, do it. You're not weird. You're just wired a little different. Just want to come back and thank everybody else again for sticking with me to the end of the video. Like I said, give it a like if you liked it. Give it a comment, leave behind. I really, honestly do want to know your thoughts. I want to hear your stories. I also want to know what people would like to hear about. I have plenty of topics in the pipeline, and I will update with some things that I'm going to be working on. Hopefully, will keep people excited. But if anyone has any ideas, maybe some things they've been struggling with, or things that have been bothering, I'd like to talk about, I'd love to go through it. Leave a message. I just wanted to say, welcome home, guys. There's cocoa cooling on the counter. Help yourself. Peace.